Come back in, you guys. So it is April of 2023. Still, it's finally starting to feel like spring. You've got a couple things that you got done this week, but I think one of the first things that was kind of neat, Vaughn, thank you for the suggestion on the tarp. We actually have been using just a regular tarp for the hay, to cover the hay for the goats. And you suggested we check out a recycled billboard, and was able to follow that link that you gave us, and we're gonna give that a shot. Mm-hmm. It's definitely a lot heavier than a tarp is, and so far seems to be doing pretty good. And even Louise was able to finally figure out her way back into her little nest.
Yeah, it took her a while. We had to put her in there a couple times, but she's got it now.
She's back in there now. One of the things with this time of year is trying to get through all the planting. We're gonna do a little bit of that today, but we actually had to plant another pecan tree. We've been planting pecans, well,
oh my goodness,
for the last couple of years, and our success rate hasn't been that good. No, so we have this one that we just bought. Where'd you get that one?
Richard's Garden Center.
Okay, so Richard's Garden Center. This one, we wanted to get a potted one that was already leafed out. Mm-hmm. We've always bought the bare roots, and pecans come in type 1 and type 2. You need them both in order to pollinate. We had both of our type 2s survive the first year, and then 2 sets of type 1s fail.
Yeah, they never, so we've had 4 of them so far, never come out of dormancy.
Right, so we figured let's get a potted one.
Yes.
And see if that makes a difference.
Yeah.
So we have this pecan tree that is the, what was the name of this one?
Western Chalet.
Western Chalet. Yep, so that one we're gonna give a shot. It's a type 1. We've decided we're not gonna do 2 of those. We're just gonna leave the 3 back there. Hopefully this one will take for cross-pollination, and we're gonna put another mulberry back there instead.
I think so.
I think so too. So one of the cool things that we do twice a year is we have folks out on the farm who live here in Arizona. Well, not always Arizona, sometimes California and New Mexico and Nevada. So I guess not just Cali, or not just Arizona, but we had our spring farm tour.
We're gonna come look at it.
Exposed grass we overseed with rye, so there's a bit of rye in here for the winter. Otherwise, most of this is alfalfa. These are our mulberry trees, and what I'm gonna have you guys do is try one. You want one that's completely black, and you're gonna be looking underneath the leaves. That's where most of the ripe fruit is. Right, so these are Shangri-La mulberries. These are our favorite mulberries. So they got a good size to them. They're about an inch. That one looks great. People always ask me to describe the mulberry and how it tastes, and my best description is a blackberry without the tart. Really great to see you guys and actually get to meet a lot of you in person. It's always kind of neat when you have a name and you kind of know the name, and then you realize, oh wait, I remember some of your comments. And then they actually get to see it.
Yeah.
One of the things that we usually have happen is a lot of times, you guys know this if you're homesteaders or you want to be, is there's usually one of you that is really into it and then one that's not.
Oh, as far as a couple?
As far as a couple.
Yeah.
And obviously we are very dependent on each other.
Yeah.
And maybe me more so on you, especially these days. But usually there's one that's really into it and one that's like, I don't know. And we usually have at least one conversion.
Yeah.
Every time we do a tour, and we had another one yesterday. So that's pretty cool. I really like to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jennifer, thank you for visiting with us yesterday during the tour. It's great to see you again. You've been here several times. You also shared with us a couple different types of zucchini that we're looking forward to. The first one that we planted today was the Dark Star zucchini. I have not tried that one before, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. Some fantastic root growth in those cups that you gave us. The second one that we planted, I think, is called a Rompicante or something like that. We have 3 of those that we planted into a few of these spring beds here as well. Those are gonna all be flanked by the tomatoes that we are also gifted by John, so thank you there again, John. So I guess that means that we really didn't have to do much for our spring beds this year, did we, sweetheart? Guys, thanks for starting the seeds because all of ours failed. So that was fantastic. So we had about 100 people here yesterday for the tour. I think that's probably one of the biggest ones we've had. It was great having people here on the farm. By the way, for you guys here in Phoenix, or I guess in another state here in the Southwest, if you guys ever want to be a part of our different events and workshops, make sure you join our customer email list. It is the only way that we market that stuff. We don't do that here on YouTube. We really focus here on sharing with you guys the farm itself, what we're doing to be successful. Sometimes, failures other times here in the desert, but definitely check out our website. There's a link down below if you want to be a part of that next workshop or event that we have here on the farm. One of the things you guys have asked us several times is whether or not we plan on keeping bees. And as you can see behind us here, the answer is yes. Now, we did not intend to start beekeeping, but Kyle and Jennifer, thank you for suggesting this. Kyle is a beekeeper and he also does hive removals. And the 2 hives that you see back here were actually rescued from a couple of houses here pretty close to the farm. And we now have them here on the farm with us. Him and his son came over and built the shade structure that you see behind me here. The 2 hives came here over the last week or 2, and we're doing our best to make sure we give them a comfortable space. Now, Kyle has already come out a couple different times. One time to remove a few of the bees from one of these hives because he wanted to add them to his hives at his place, which is about a mile south of us here. So now we probably will expand this, and we're already seeing just some great bee activity all around the farm. He's got a few plans as far as what he's going to be doing with these hives. Now, of course, in the end, honey is what we're really looking for besides all of the benefits of pollination and, of course, saving those bees. So he's got a couple of European queens that he's going to be replacing out of these 2 hives here to make sure we have European colonies. These are almost definitely Africanized bees here. So while I don't mind being this close to them, I've already gotten tagged once this morning. So I'm not going to stay too close to these guys, but we are really excited to eventually be able to have honey from the farm here locally, not only for ourselves, but also eventually for all of our customers. showed you a couple of them. I'm gonna move it over just a little bit. Be very deep. That's one of the things everybody was telling us that the area we've been working in this morning is the east side of our chicken coop and run. Now we've been doing a few things in this area over the last couple of years to establish soil. The first couple rounds we were doing cowpeas along with some sunflowers for our chickens. The cowpeas we cut down at the end of the season and heavily mulched. We've done that twice now. This past winter we had this covered heavily with wood chips. We had started a couple of sugar canes in the corner just to my right. Those all did really well, and we harvested those just a few weeks back and planted them into pots. So we had little starts that you can see have now developed shoots here over the last few weeks. We wanted to go ahead and get these in. Now, one of the main reasons we have this is because these grasses grow very quickly for us. We have a lot of uses for the canes themselves. Not only can we utilize them for making sugar and syrups for our wine in particular, also our pigs really enjoy eating these, as do our chickens. So we can let our chickens into here at the end of the season. They'll clean up the bottom of all of these for us, and then we can come back and harvest the canes themselves and either feed them to the pigs, make them into new starts for you guys out there, or turn them into syrup. One of the things you'll notice is we did not amend the soil that we were planting into. The humus layer and the worm activity was fantastic in the soil, so we didn't do any amendments at all to get these planted. However, we do have them wood chipped and mulched really, really well to make sure we hold the moisture in for this sugarcane, because they do really like moisture. The last thing we did was come back and give a little bit of fertilizer. What we did is we mixed a couple tablespoons of fish emulsion and a couple tablespoons of vitamin B1. We then mixed those about a half a gallon per planting to get a little bit of a boost, a nitrogen boost for these grasses as they get started here at the beginning of summer. The goal eventually is to have these growing up to the top of the chicken coop and run and giving our chickens some natural shade, especially during the summertime here in the mornings.
Like the berries.
I'm not surprised. Doesn't everybody?
Yeah.
Here, Lily Goat. Here, Lily Goat. All right. All right. Go ahead. Oh, she's doing straight up on the green fruit. We're back here on the back 40, the back side of the property, where we have our black Pakistan mulberries. Now, we haven't had a harvest from the black Pakistans, but the goats are doing a fantastic job harvesting all the green ones and ripe ones.
Yeah.
They don't seem to care. In fact, they're still going to town behind us, which is really cool. But black Pakistan mulberries. Ooh. So these are black Pakistan mulberries. Hopefully you guys can see them pretty well. I would say these are what, probably twice the size of our Shangri-Las?
Yeah.
Give or take. So let's go ahead and try one of these.
Okay.
I'm gonna try this one. It's got a little bit of red and
Okay.
purple. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was fantastic. Even the red, mine was sweet.
Was it? Yeah, no, it's really sweet. I like the taste of the Shangri-Las better though.
I would say the Shangri-Las taste better. They have a stronger flavor. But what's great about this is even when they're red, they're still kind of sweet.
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho. So it's really cool to have the bees on the farm. I feel like we're doing our part to save the planet by saving the bees.
All right.
Literally
Sounds
saving
good.
the bees. Well, we didn't. Kyle rescued those bees. But
He did, yeah.
those are rescued bees.
They are.
That's pretty
Very cool.
Yeah. So just want to thank you for joining us today. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. We cover a lot of things here on this newly established functioning farm and would love to see you on a regular basis. If you have any questions or comments, those go where?
In the comment section down below.
That's right. And our Amazon shop, I'll leave a link down in that same description. If you start with that link, it doesn't matter what you buy, you help to support us here. So just want to thank you for joining us today and remind you, if we can farm on the edge of nowhere,
So can you! There's our planes.
there's the plains. The plane. You remember that now?
You said that in another video.
I did.
I don't remember what it was from.
I'm getting old, so I repeat stuff.
What movie was it from?
It's from well, it's actually a show from the 80s. Maybe it was the 70s. I was a little tiny kid. So, but it's Fantasy Island.
Oh,
Yeah. So little
Never
guy.
saw it.
Really?
That's what we talked about inside.
No, I was talking about it in the intro. So yeah, it's okay that we're not on the same page. As long as we're on the same book. That's all that matters. Okay, let's turn the page. The first one that we planted today is a red star zucchini.
Dark star.
Dark star? Red star? What the? I'm making stuff up as I go.
thought it was dark star.
I think it's dark star. Probably dark star. We'll verify. Yeah, that's my beautiful assistant in the background. Verifying red star versus dark star. I'm not really sure where I came up with the red star. Is it dark star?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. That was in my butt.
That
So
did not sound good.
That sounded horrible, actually. So much longer. I'd say probably 2 to 3. Yo, you
I
okay?
almost fell over.
Not a big deal. Of our Shangri-Las?
Yeah.
Give or take. So,
Toilet.
look at. It's like,
He
hey,
likes to eat my
did you want one of
clothes
these?
out of my pocket.
Hey, I do not want to get stung again. Oh, it's going for me. Come on now. I think it smells the pheromones from stinging me earlier. No, get away.
Or the berries.
Oh, it's probably the berries. Go on, get back into your thing. All right.
Where were you?
That was a bee break.